Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Way too many buttons to push here. Good morning, and welcome to the In Wheel Time car talk show from the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Coming up, Randy Weldon and the Mustang Club of America. I got to drive the Ford F-150 Lightning. I'll give you my impression of it. We'll also have the cruise-in calendar, and later Chris Harto with Consumer Reports on how new emissions laws will affect every one of us. Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and I'll bring you the stories making automotive news headlines. It's all just ahead on the In Wheel Time car talk show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, Mr. Wires, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a rather confusing last hour as we sat here and discussed the problems of the world.
And we solved them.
Mm-hmm. And then we talked about Bud Light. So we kind of finished it up with that. So we can continue.
Very apropos.
We can continue talking about Bud Light.
Nope.
That's what Randy Weldon likes to drink.
No.
Shaking his head.
That's what I've been drinking, but there's a good chance that I'll change.
There you go. Because there's a lot of
choices out there.
Beer manufacturers out there.
A lot of choices, but I got to tell you guys, my Chief Wahoo hat.
Yeah.
I bought a case of them. Chief Wahoo's alive with me at least until I die.
There you go.
I won't even say the name of the other team. Won't say it.
Won't say. Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
So the name of the team now is the Wahoos?
It'll always be the Indians for me.
Yeah. Why are you from that area?
Yeah, I'm from 75 miles east there, right on the Pennsylvania-Ohio border.
I'll be darned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I'm a
Yes,
Milwaukee Braves guy, which doesn't exist anymore.
Mike's got a team called the Yahoos.
Yeah, but that's what I grew up with at Milwaukee County Stadium. Thank you. That was my first venture into professional baseball. Thanks, Dad. And last, pretty much. Well, no, I'm an Astros fan. Who couldn't be? Why would you not be?
They won late last night.
Did they win?
They pulled it out. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Mark Wahlberg likes him.
Randy Weldon, Mustang Club of America, used to be Northside Mustang Club.
Well, I'm still a member there.
Are you? Still a member there? And is there anything Mustang that you don't do?
No, there's not much I don't do Mustang. I'm just hoping that the running pony doesn't get offended. We don't want it to change the name.
The running pony.
The logo. The running pony.
The logo.
I know. I got it. Well, why did you say that?
Because I've never heard it called that before.
The running pony? Mm-mm. I never have either.
Randy, I've heard it called
that. There's a piece in my auto history segment that's going to talk about the Mustang.
Mm-hmm. Well, we always talk about the Mustang.
Talk about the running pony?
No.
Hey,
I think,
guys, when you get to that segment, if you dig up the history of the running pony, it was created by a Ford artist who came out of Crockett, Texas. A guy by the name of Phil Clark.
I'll be darned.
Yes, sir.
See, I thought that the running pony was more along the lines of a up on the
galloping
back feet pony,
like the Denver Bronco horse,
something like that. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Okay. Well, see, because running, he would have all four
galloping.
Yeah, galloping.
And isn't the horse in the Denver Stadium? Isn't that Trigger? Isn't that horse was replicated after the Trigger?
Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers. Yeah, Dale Evans. I think that's his horse.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Which is stuffed somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it stuffed? Okay. Let's talk about the Mustang cars.
Yes, sir.
How many do you own?
I've got one. Just one right now.
Which one is that?
It's actually in the picture behind me here. It's the 2010 Ford Mustang convertible.
Oh, very good.
That picture right there is traveling down Highway 105 East going to Beaumont with the top down.
I thought that at some point that you owned several Mustangs.
Well, I had a couple of Mustangs, and it was actually one of them belonged to a gal I was living with, and she took her Mustang and moved out.
She galloped out of there.
Took her.
She galloped on.
And he doesn't seem to be too worse for the wear on that one.
I'm still over here breathing, right?
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's.
But you're a board member now of National, correct?
Yeah, I was a director at Northside Mustang Club, probably around 2014 or somewhere around there. And in 2015, I ran for the board of the national board to become a national director on Mustang Club of America. I lost, but then somebody else stepped down, and I was next in line to be brought up. So I've been on the board. I think I've run for 5 terms at this point, and I'll have to run again this year.
You'll have to?
Oh, yeah. You only get 2-year terms. You have to run again.
Oh, I see. Is it 2-year terms, and that's the max?
For the president of the club, it is.
I see.
But for the national directors, it's a volunteer organization. So you have to love doing this and making an impact on people that love the Mustang. So you're donating your time. And sometimes it's hard to get people to run for office, if you're doing it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have that passion for
it's kind of like
Mustang.
this talk show. You got to have a passion for it. Because of all the money that we're making here doing it.
That's right. Well, and you guys get up reasonably early, too. So
we do. So let's talk about the Mustang Club of America. We had, I think it was the president on last week, did we not?
It was director of the driving event.
I'm sorry, director of the driving event. And I guess it brought up some sort of question about, go ahead, Mars.
Well, Randy and I had talked about this a couple of times, particularly whenever you start thinking about some of the people we've talked to over in Italy, as far as Italy, that are members of the Mustang Club of America, how it becomes such a large organization and global. So, how did it had to start with Mustang clubs, and then, how did it become such a large organization? Again, how it runs, like you said, a bunch of volunteers that are passionate about the car and stuff. So we kind of thought maybe some of the information about the Mustang Club of America might be interesting to share to other people.
And Howard,
we thought.
Now, did it start as a bunch of individual areas that joined to the national, or
no? It started in Atlanta, Georgia, and there were 7 guys that really enjoyed getting together and kind of like guys in the Smoke and Mirrors Network. You get together and at this, table and you talk about, you tell stories, right? And you enjoy those stories. And most of it's related to stuff you're interested in. So that's kind of how this started. Some of them had a couple of sons or daughters, and, they wanted to get together and put on these shows and enjoy the cars together with their families. So that's how it started in Atlanta, Georgia. And then there was a club up in Tennessee who, a couple of car shows into this, a couple of years into this, wanted to do a show up in their neck of the woods. So they created their first charter club there. And that has now grown to 173 charter clubs around the world. So you guys have done interviews with Manuel Manchin over in Italy.
Right.
You've done Simon Fixter over in England.
Yep.
You've done Adrian, and I don't remember his last name, down in Mexico.
Yep.
And all those people are Mustang people that are members of Mustang Club of America. But the Mustang Club of America started so the car was introduced, 1965? They call it 64 and a half, but it was technically 65.
Yep.
And about 1976, they formed this Mustang Club of America. And then out of that has grown 173 charter clubs. And by the way, if you get 10 Mustang Club of America members together, and they form a club and they're in operation for a year, you can petition then to become a charter club. So we're still looking to expand that out.
So you're still growing.
It's still growing. Yeah, it's still growing. Those of us on the National Board of Directors vote on approving clubs, or some clubs go dark and you don't know what's happened to them, so you have to vote to shut them down. But it really was born out of a bunch of guys that wanted to get together and enjoy each other's company, enjoy the car. And the mission statement became, to preserve the history and enjoyment of the car. That's the mission statement of the club. So at this point, when you do car shows, you've got, cars that are restored to concours level.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you'll have the gold card judges go in there. It's like, okay, the nut on that isn't turned exactly in the right direction, and you're not using the right bolt that we approved. It gets pretty critical of these cars, but that becomes a part of the pedigree of the pony. So when it comes time for resale, or it goes into car show retirement after you collect X amount of awards and levels, its value increases on a resale on an auction somewhere.
Kind of like Bloomington Gold with the Corvettes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Now, I will tell you that back in my day when I was a club member, and we started our own club not too far after my initial membership with the San Jacinto Corvette Club, I will tell you I had no clue what I was getting into and the amount of work it took to be in a quote-unquote club. And I never forget going to club meetings, and somebody had the bright idea, I guess from high school, that we had to read the minutes from the last club meeting. Do we care? Does that still happen in clubs? They still have to read the stupid minutes? Who cares?
When we're done here, I'll go to the hotel across the street. We've got a national directors meeting this weekend today. And first thing we'll do is approve, after we take roll calls, approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Well, and what's the purpose of that?
It's all part of the record keeping because you are a corporation. We're a 501c7 corporation, and it's part of the record.
You got rules you have to follow.
Yeah.
Don't need no
That's
stinking
the part
rules.
that I hate. Those stinking rules.
Rules.
And that's part of it. And then you got, everybody you want to make sure everybody's on the same, this is what we talked about last time. So everybody knows where we're at today, because it may have been. When was your last meeting?
January. It was down in Kissimmee during the Mecum auction down there.
Yeah. So now they're in Dallas, so they got to kind of catch up, level set everybody. This is where we're at. This is what we're going to do. We've already decided this much.
And the other thing is
forward.
you kind of go over the minutes of the last meeting, so some of that might set the agenda for this meeting because you haven't closed the thought of what somebody brought up at the last meeting.
I have in my mind.
So the minutes take hours.
Yes.
Minutes take hours.
The minutes do take hours.
Let me ask you this question. That would be, when it comes to membership, is it all a bunch of old guys?
No, we've got at this meeting. One of our national directors, Robin Paul Sell from Oakland, or from the San Jose area over there, has his 20-year-old daughter here, and she's got a car that she traveled. We have these generally 4 shows a year and a couple of driving events, and some of those are mixed with shows. She brings her car out, she shows it, and she's won multiple awards for that. Not only that, I've watched this little gal. Her name's Paige. From the time she was 14 years old, she works on that car. And I mean, she's right in there on her own, replacing things that need to be replaced so she can get, a gold trophy or whatever.
Good for her.
Good. Well,
That's
I'm
what it's
glad.
about.
Yeah.
Well, Mustang Club of America is all about the family, right? And getting the, kind of bringing the people up behind you.
Well, and some of the cars in the club have probably become generational cars. Dad to his son to the grandson kind of thing as the ownership of the car progresses through the family. And this week, the Mustang is 58 years old.
And
guys, this is the only car I've seen that actually kind of permeates families. It somebody in the family will get one. Next thing you know, you got 5. And, every member's got to have one. But it also passes down generationally, like Conrad said.
Well, I think that the other aspect of that is the fact that we tend to go with what we can afford at the beginning, and sometimes guys go nuts and get all into it. Some perfect 1964 and a half, if you will, Mustang that is absolutely pristine and has got all the big heavy duty awards, and it gets trailed around in a box and that sort of thing. But I think that the real appeal is the fact that the Mustang prices, generally speaking, throughout the years have been affordable. It is an affordable way to get into a 4-place passenger car. Yeah, and all of the aftermarket things that you can do to it, fix up the engine, put wheels on it, tweak the interior, you name it.
And it's stayed in production since '64.
There you go. So it has this wonderful history, and the fact that it is affordable to most people, even if it's a new one, an old one, one that's on its last leg, and somebody spends decades getting it up
Restoring
to
it.
restoring it. There's a certain appeal to that for a lot of people, and I think that the affordability of the Mustang going in at the beginning is part of that appeal, don't you, Randy?
I do think it is, but guys, you've been out to car shows.
Oh yeah.
And track events and everything else. Have you ever noticed, because I noticed this early on at cruise-ins and car shows, that a 4 or 5-year-old be walking around with mom and dad and they gravitate to one brand or another.
That's
I've
true.
noticed that
Yes.
over and over.
Sure.
Yeah. And you'll see the kids that are gravitating to the Camaros or the Corvettes or to the Mustangs. And it happens at an early age, and I it's always caught my attention. Like, why does that happen?
When did it happen for you? How old were you?
I was 15 actually. My first car was a Ford Mustang. It was affordability. Don, I cashed in Ford savings
Affordability.
bonds.
I got it.
It was affordability. This thing was almost beat to death, but I needed a car to get back and forth to Conroe High School from spring, and so I cashed in Ford savings bonds and bought my first car, and then I worked on it every weekend to make sure it got back and forth to school every week.
Well, I think that I was 14, and there was a Corvette, brand new one, sitting on the showroom floor of McRoberts Chevrolet, which was the forerunner to A.J. Foyt Chevrolet on Post Oak near Belfort. And I guess Dad was looking for a car, not that car. He was looking for a.
He just happened to be in the showroom.
You wanted that car, but Dad didn't.
But that's exactly where I went to. Because at that age, especially when you're 14 years old, and you're washing Mom's car and getting it all cleaned up, you can't drive it
and
yet.
doing one-wheel burnouts in the Buick.
Yeah, well, not yet. That was to come at a later time. But I right along with Randy. I mean, you gravitate to a certain car, and here I am all these years later, still with a Corvette.
You always remember your first because it's the special one. Because, like Randy said, he went out of his way to cash in some bonds, or it took him some work to get that one.
Well, I will tell you that the Corvair thing just happened as a fluke. It's not that I wanted the Corvair, but it was available, and I knew that it would run, and I put a few dollars into it, bought it cheap, and bought it from the dealership because the guy that brought it in to get it fixed couldn't afford to get it fixed. I did, and it became my car, and that's the only reason that I fell into that. Otherwise, I would have gone for a Corvette, not that I could have afforded one at the time, but that's funny how and Randy brought it up. I didn't even think about it, Randy.
Start as a child.
Yeah, you start as a kid, and then you gravitate toward one car.
Well, I guess I was the odd child. Probably still in the odd adult.
Yeah.
Because mine was my sister dated a guy, and to this day I remember the guy's name. His name was Paul Simpson, and he had a black 68 442 W30, and it was the baddest car in high school at the time. There wasn't anybody even came close to it, and that was where I grew my passion for Oldsmobiles.
Yep. Randy, Mustang Club of America, do they have a local branch here?
Well, you've got these regional charter clubs. So in the city of Houston, you've got Northside Mustang Car Club. You've got Mustang Club of Houston. Both of those are charter clubs. And in Beaumont, you've got the Wild Horse Mustang Club. You go to San Antonio, you've got the San Antonio Mustang Club. You've got, various little sections of that, like the Shelby clubs and the Saline and Roush clubs. But all of them have local. Is there
a repository where you can get that information off the internet?
There is. There's on the website's mustang.org. And you just go there and there's a ton of information.
Gotcha.
For how to join the club, who to contact. And it has a list of all the regional clubs that exist right now. So you can look for one close to you.
Yep. I'm posting that up right now.
So you don't really join the Mustang Club of America until after you've
joined a
club.
Charter club.
Well, I joined Mustang Club of America because when I bought my Mustang, there was a pamphlet in the glove box. All right, so I joined them, and I got to thinking about it. I was like, there's got to be a local club. So I Googled Mustang Club of Houston and found those guys first and joined those guys. But those guys are based in Katy primarily, and I lived in Spring. So eventually I found the Northside Mustang Car Club, which was close to me, and I didn't have to drive an hour or two and from each meeting.
But so somebody, let's say out in Marfa, there's one Mustang guy out in Marfa. He can join the Mustang Club of America without having their club. Okay. Because you did mention you've got events that go on and a lot of other things that happen that people would like to know about.
Well, and those events are listed on that Mustang.org website. But, every year, Mustang Club of America puts on generally 4 national car shows. You guys came out to the one at the Lone Star Flight Museum in 2019.
Right.
But when we look at this year, starting in June 9th through 11th, you've got Albuquerque. So you've got a national Mustang show there, and people travel from around the world to get to that. You go July 27th through 30th, and they're going to Indianapolis. That also includes a Mustang 2 reunion. How many times you've seen every Mustang 2 in the country that looks good? They get together.
Both of them.
All two of them. All 2 of them. September is usually the growth they call the Grand National. So usually by then you're having your last show of the year, and that one this year is September 8th through 10th, which is in Melbourne, Florida. And that one, that wraps it up. That because it's the end of the summer, pretty much. But because they only had 3 shows this year, then in Topeka they're going to have a driving event and a car show at Heartland Motorsports Park, and those points will carry over into 2024. And so you basically you're building these points to get your car to a point that you can retire it from showing on the circuit. And then you're also again adding to your pedigree for every one of these. So we get a gold, a silver, a bronze, and when they give those awards, guys, it's not against somebody you're competing against. It's not one of your friends you've made at the car show. You're competing against yourself and how well you've cleaned that car, or how well you've maintained that car.
And to whatever the standard of that year, make, and model are.
Yeah.
That's correct. And we've got different classes for every one of the makes and models out there.
See, there's more we need to know, but we're going to run out of time here.
Randy, it's great to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Stay in touch, and let's all get together soon.
You make us smarter.
All right. Take care.
It's easy to do.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Randy Weldon, and he is with the
Mustang Club of America.
And others as well. Mm-hmm. All right. Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2022 Ford F-150. Available trim levels include the Pro, the XLT, the Lariat, the Platinum. My reviewed trim level is the Lightning version of it. 4x4 Super Crew with a 5.5-foot bed. And I say that because there are so many variations that you can get on an F-150. It's too many to mention. What size, what class? Standard truck, half-ton, seats 5, including the driver. Exterior changes from last model year. Well, the Lightning is all new for 22. 3 bed lengths, 3 cabs, 6 powertrains. Not in the Lightning, but in the F-150 in general. But we're going to focus on the Lightning. Exterior features, exclusive front grille, if you want to call it that, with hood to light headlight horizontal bars across the thing. You cannot mistake it for any other F-150.
Cool looking, yeah.
Same for the rear lighting. It goes from tail light to tail light across the back of it. Makes the F-150 stand out from the gasoline versions. Wheels tend to be on the aerodynamic spectrum. Painted bumpers on the Lightning as well. What I liked? The differentiation between the gas and electric. Obviously, the electric wins my award. What could use improvement? Well, the range, they say, is 320 miles max at a light throttle, no AC, and reasonable ambient temperature. And I say that because...
those aren't the driving conditions in Houston.
Well, yeah, it's maximum heat here. So that's going to bring the range down because that's just the way that it works. Interior highlights. Huge center screen for the infotainment and info system, 15.5 inches to be exact. Comfortable seating surfaces, generous storage throughout the cabin. Ergonomics, great in this truck. Cargo trunk room, well, this thing is perfect for an electric truck. And let's not forget the frunk, which is where the engine would be.
Front trunk.
Which is where the engine would be in a gasoline engine. It's now a trunk up there.
And it kind of comes off odd when you see one parked and that hood's up. Because to me, I'm going to lean in and expect to see the functions of an electric vehicle.
No.
There's nothing. It's an empty storage compartment.
It's the trunk, but it's on the front of the truck. So what I liked about it, the fold-down shifter, the interior, it allows for a flat center console work area. You have to see it to believe it. It works great. I don't understand the purpose of the actual shift lever and having to have it go down all the way. I think that the perfect fit for it would be what is used in the Jaguar line of cars, where it's the round knob and the knob just sinks down to make it a flat surface. You don't need the great big.
He said he liked something about Jaguar.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't really say he liked it.
I didn't like
He
it.
just compared it.
Yeah. But the knob on the Jag works rather well, as long as you don't get something stuck down in there and it sticks down, and then you can't shift the thing.
Yeah, you get your knob stuck.
And that, don't ask me how I know that. I had someone approach me in the parking lot and ask me all about it. Got lots of looks. You know, it draws attention. There's no doubt about it. Engine, dual electric motors, 580 horsepower, 775 pound-feet of torque. It's a direct drive, clearly. Doesn't have a transmission. Tow rating, 7,700 pounds. Payload, 1 ton, 2,000 pounds.
And doing all of that shortens its range.
Yes, it does. So I'm going to say it's approximately 420 miles is what I drove the thing. And what I found out is the usage, the electrical power usage out of the batteries, 6% of the power went to the accessories during that mileage period, 5% went to climate, 3% went to the exterior temperature, the 3%, and then the driving usage for the battery is 86%. So most of it went to driving, clearly. What I liked about it, I like the rocket startup from the get-go. In other words, you put it in drive.
It'll haul donkey.
Well, to use one of Mars' terms. Yes. Mm-hmm. What could use improvement? The heaviness of it. It feels heavy. Ride and handling, smooth, compliant. Nothing could use improvement there. It really rides like a luxury limousine. Base trim price, $67,474. Prices tested, $81,099. The base model price, good luck in trying to find one, starts at $41,769. Wow.
And has been moving up since its inception.
Right. Competitors, the Rivian R1T for $69,000 starting price. The GMC Hummer, $108,700 starting price there. And the still coming soon to a theater near you is the Ram Rev. Pricing will be announced, but I'm sure it will be competitive with the Lightning. Cool. You looked at me funny. Why?
Well, because I don't necessarily put the Hummer as a competitor to the Lightning.
Well, I had to come up with 3, and that's one of them.
Well, mainly because the Hummer is more an SUV than a pickup, where the Lightning's a pickup.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. I hope. Oh, let's try that
Push
again.
the button.
I did.
Are you a car enthusiast? Come experience the 27th Annual Keels and Wheels Classic Car and Boat Show. Join us Saturday, May 6th and Sunday, May 7th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. This fun family event features vintage and contemporary race cars from Le Mans, Indy, Formula One, NASCAR, and much more. See classic and vintage boats of all types, not to mention American and European pre- and post-war classics. Pre-sale tickets are $30. Students are just $15. Children 12 and under are free. Purchase your tickets today at keelsandwheels.com.
Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.